I'm back. So, crazy past couple of days, weeks. There's a lot going on in the world. Well, not in the world, in my world, in this nation. I'll try not to get too much into politics, given that's the fact that I'm here today to play around with makeup and de-stress from everything going on and all the chaos. As you can see, I have a colorful look today. I tried to step out of my comfort zone and do something different. I'm just playing around with makeup today. That's it. We're just hanging out. So enjoy. Typically, I don't like to use concealer as a base if I want something to really last for a long time. But I think it'll help if I'm going to be using a lot of color to at least make the eye even so that the colors can actually show up how they truly are. So I'm going to be using the Covergirl Trublend concealer. Next up, I'm going to take a Makeup Geek eyeshadow. I don't know if you guys have heard of them anymore. Geez, these eyeshadows are old for sure because I got them when they were really popular. So I'm going to be using specifically the shade Chickadee. And possibly before that, actually, I'm going to go in with Creme Brulee. Gosh, this shadow was so popular. Holy cow. This was definitely something that YouTube made me buy. But I don't regret it. These shadows are actually really nice. I just got them in like a Z palette with a couple other shades. Speaking of old products, can you guess what this is? Only the real makeup fanatics that have been watching YouTube for a while will know. This is an E40 from Sigma. I still have Sigma brushes. Good quality as well, but do you need to spend that type of money? Not really. Now I'm gonna start dipping into Chickadee. I'm gonna be using the NYX Brights shadow palette. I am gonna be using this shade right here. Possibly some of the shade next to it, and then this like orangey tone as well. So I'll start with the last shade that I mentioned. This is actually more of like a yellowy shade. I thought it was gonna be more orange, but it's definitely more of a yellow. This is like a neon orange. It looks like a neon orange in person. I really like this color. This is an interesting one for sure. I think this one and there's like a reddish color, like a red pink in this palette. I think those are the two that I honestly reach out for the most when I do use this palette. So given that the orange shade is really not that dark, I'm gonna go ahead and dip into the It's My Rayeraye, I think that's how you say it, BH Cosmetics eyeshadow palette, and I'll be using this shade right here. Eventually I'll be using the yellow shade as well. And this one I'm really just gonna use in the corner. I'm gonna go back into this palette and go ahead and grab this shade right here. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing, but we'll have to see how this turns out. I think that looks actually really interesting because typically I feel like the looks that I've seen or that I tend to gravitate towards are, you know, the lighter inner shade and then it kind of gets darker, and this is kind of like the opposite. So it's pretty interesting. I actually really like it so far. And then I'm gonna bring another throwback by using the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk. I bet you guys haven't seen this one for a while. I'm gonna use this to lighten up that area in the center. I'm gonna start tapping in that yellow shade. Wow, this has a lot of pigment. You know, it's kind of ironic because I wanted this eyeshadow palette for a while, but I just was trying to keep myself from buying more eyeshadow palettes because I have a lot of them and like they don't fit anymore in my drawer, my makeup drawer. So I was trying to hold myself back. And then one day I ran into it when I was at TJ Maxx and I was like, that's it. I give up. I need to have it. I don't know. I just thought, even though I don't play a lot with color, it looked like it had a lot of tones in there that would be easier to work with, as you can see. So yeah, and it's a really good palette for the price point, so I'm really impressed with it. I think I'm gonna dab a little bit of the sparkly yellow shade above it. And I'm gonna take this shade right here. It's a little bit more of like it's like a red brown, and I think I'm gonna use that in the very corner. I thought I had thrown in a yellow liner, but I don't think I did. So I'm gonna try to use this as kind of like a glitter liner. This is the Stila liquid eyeshadow in the color Kitten. For the inner corner, I am going to be taking some MAC eyeshadow. This one's called Gold Bit. I really like this one as an inner corner shade. I think that it's champagne enough to just kind of match with everything, almost every look that I do. So I reach out to this one a lot. I love it. Kind of dragging my brush up a little bit to create kind of like a stronger highlighted effect. And start doing the eyebrows. I'm gonna use my NYX micro brow pencil as usual in the color Ash Brown. You would think I would know by now, but I always forget. And obviously comb your eyebrows up. I've seen people that comb their eyebrow down at this region. Personally, I don't like that on myself. Next, I'm gonna be taking my Essence Highlight Brow Pencil, and I'm gonna use this to highlight, obviously. This works fine, but it's not as creamy as concealer, so I don't usually do this, but just for the sake of it, because we're just playing with makeup, I'm gonna go ahead and take the same shade that I used to highlight my inner corner, and I'll put a little bit on the brow bone. I'll be using the Covergirl, I think it's called the Covergirl Get In Line Matte Black Eyeliner. So I already curled my lashes. I'll be going in with a Bambi eye mascara. Okay, so I'll be going on with my L'Oreal foundation and then pairing it with the LA Girl Pro Coverage base in white. I'll be taking the tiniest bit of the Covergirl concealer that I used earlier, but I'm gonna go ahead and mix it with my usual Bareminerals Bareskin Complete Coverage Serum. Although it's not really complete coverage in my opinion, but that's why I'm mixing it with the other one. I should have brought my mirror, like my bigger mirror. But last time I was able to do my makeup just fine with a smaller mirror. But I think because today I'm doing something more in depth, it would have been useful to have a bigger mirror. But now I know for next time. I will go ahead and use my Collab Set the Stage Ultra Fine Loose Powder in the shade Ivory just to set my under eyes. I might try to do a little bronzing, like bronzer and like kind of contouring. Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzer in the shade Macchiato. And I think I'm gonna use a smaller brush than I usually do for We're gonna use the e.l.f. Halo Glow powder in the shade Light. This powder, the sifter, is like, it's not very good because a lot of product still comes out, so I do have to be careful with this one. I'm not gonna bake, but I just wanna set this area. And then in terms of blush, I will be using the Morphe 8W blush palette. Specifically shade Witty, which is this one right here. I tried to pick out some products that were different from my last videos just to have a variety of stuff to play around with, but yeah, blush helps so much. I still look like a ghost. I might have gone a little light on the foundation, or it could be the lighting. And since my face is feeling pretty dry, I'm gonna be using the Catrice Dewy Glow Fixing Spray. And I think I wanna take a little bit of this Master Chrome highlighter in the shade Molten Rose Gold. Although I do have to be really careful with this one because it tends to pick up pretty dark on my skin tone. That happens with a lot of highlighters for me, believe it or not. Kind of hard to find a good highlighter that doesn't pull way too white and not too golden and not too pink. I just realized that they have names, of course, duh. Well, this one, the purple shade I'm taking specifically, is called Majesty. And then just for the sake of a pop of color, more than we already have, because this to me is a lot, but I'm gonna use the LA Girl Shockwave liner in this blue shade. If you really load that color, like, it for sure shows up. And it's actually really pretty. I need to sharpen this pencil. When it comes to makeup pencils, I just hate sharpening them. I feel like it's just such a mess because the consistency is so much creamier and it gets stuck to the sharpener and it's just like, it's annoying. My battery died, but I'm back. I'm gonna use the Lash Couture extensions in Royal Silk. If you guys were, this is a newer collection with the Kiss brand. If you guys were wondering about these, they are definitely a lot longer, I feel, and more dramatic. But personally, they're not the most comfortable. Kiss lashes are my favorite brand to buy from, but the lash band on this one is supposed to be, it's not thick considering how big these lashes are, but it's also not very flexible, even though it claims to be very flexible. But these look definitely like doll lashes, so if you're into that, I think you'll really enjoy these. But for me, I don't know, I have to be in the mood, or else I just feel like they look too exaggerated. And while I'm waiting for this to dry, I'll go ahead and apply some mascara on my bottom lashes. I'm gonna use that MAC mascara that I mentioned a couple of videos ago that I don't know what it's called to this day. I actually had these and I think one or two other lashes from that collection because I really liked the concept. But I just couldn't get used to them, so if I get closer, you guys can see kind of like how long they are from the start. And I think that's what makes them look very doll-like. So if you're into that, I guess it's cool. But in my opinion, I think they're a little too long in the front. But today is all about being dramatic. So here I am with all this color and some really big lashes at night. So I'll be combining Stila in Caramello, and then the Kylie lipstick and butterscotch. This looks so light on me. I was thinking of doing a lip swatch video. I don't know, if I have time before I start school, I might do something like that. Although I don't have like a specific line that I have a lot of lipsticks from. I feel like I have a ton of different lipsticks from different brands. Butterscotch is definitely a light shade, so I might even go in and line my lips kind of with this Flower Beauty lippy stick. This one's in the color, or it's called Scribble Stick. This one's in the color Caramel. I think that helps give the lip a little bit more dimension. And then I'll go in with the Kylie lipstick in the center. This is still kind of crazy. But listen, I'm just stepping out of my comfort zone. So this is today's completed look. I mean, I don't know if any of this matches. I honestly just wanted to sit down and just play with some makeup. I mean, that's what makeup really is for, to make yourself feel better, but just kind of to enjoy. It's an art. So I really admire people that can get really creative. But today was fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bye.